Cerberus Gridiron Podcast. And now your hosts, Christian and Kris, powered by Cerberus Fantasy Sports.
Let's go. Welcome to the Cerberus Gridiron Podcast. I am your host, Christian _CFS. And here is your co-host, Mr. K Camp. How you doing, Mr. K Camp?
I am doing well, and yourself?
I'm doing good, dog. Can't complain. My daggone computer, my daggone webcam keep daggone adjusting. It's like, well, no, it's supposed to auto adjust. So it's actually doing it's doing its job.
Okay. I know you need some help with that face you got, so I'm all good for it to help as much as you can.
I guess it's trying to get like a close-up view since I am like the back-to-back champion of like our league and everything. So
that's what he got to go to, y'all. He's back-to-back champion. I can't knock it. He is.
About to hit that three-peat, y'all. So y'all gonna stay tuned to this and then see why he gonna make that three-peat.
Over my dead body. What up, my good people? My bad. What up, my good people? Shalom, my Kim to my good people, and shalom, my Kim to my bad people. May you learn to become good because we need good people in this world. Three-peat, not up in here. No. No, I don't trade with his such a hater. Trade with his ass, y'all. So these other Egypts that trade with him, giving him pieces. I mean, shit. But
hey man, you gotta know how to move through the system.
But you know what? His 3 chips. He's not even in his 5 years. He has 3 chips, 2 of them back to back, and all 3 people he's beaten has been the same person in the final. So
that is true.
He need to play somebody else in that finals, and let's see.
That is very true. The 2 people that I did play that I lost to was yourself, and then was another person. The other person, he just beat the brakes off me, dog. I couldn't fathom that. Like his whole team went off, and I was like, "Yeah, this is not about to be pretty."
Wait for it to go off. It didn't need to be that weak. But you would have, if I remember, my memory serves correctly. If I had beat the guy that you played in the finals, I think you would have beat him by like 10 points. Which would have hurt.
Yeah. But shoot, man. Let's talk about the news, man. What's up in the news? Like,
is there anything new in the news? No trades.
The only thing I see up in the news is Brandon Ayuk and daggone T. Higgins. And then you got your boy Dion coming out saying, hey, my son and then Travis Hunter are only going to play for these teams right here. This is our cosign. But we already know. Do you really think he's going to pull that daggone Phillip Rivers?
No, and Eli Manning. I mean, now I'm not going to say he won't have the ball. He won't have the balls to do it. But him saying that now, stop. A lot can happen in a year. Dion just talking. Dion know how to move the needle. He know how to get them clicks. He know what to say to get those clicks. So he just, is building his brand. How you gonna say that, bro? Relax. Out of that list he gave, the only people that team that possibly could get, you have to move up still, is probably the Cowboys, because the Eagles not Jalen Hurts ain't going nowhere.
Falcons.
Atlanta, now he could sit behind Atlanta for a year because they paying Kirk $40 million next year. But I think it's just Dion talking. Now, if he said this this time next year, okay. Now it could be.
I wouldn't be shocked if he says it again this time next year.
Well, but put the balls out there and say it then.
Oh, he gonna say it because his son going in there. So he gonna be like, "Hey, my son's only gonna play for this team right here." And I'm trying to think who's gonna be one of the worst teams next year. I think the Broncos. Shoot, I'm hoping it's not Carolina, because if it is, I want to know if they gonna draft a quarterback.
Carolina. Who else? Yeah, it's gonna be And I guess now, if it's them again, Dion, yell it to the sky. My son is not playing for the Carolina Panthers. Not with that owner. No, not doing it. No instability. No. I mean, they have instability there. Yeah.
He might play for that owner because, I mean, he going to always be paid.
Yeah, that's the idiot owner, though. I mean, so I'll say that. Does he have the balls? Does he have the balls to say that? Yeah. Him saying it now, though, it don't take balls. Say it next year. That take balls. That's all. I mean, I definitely think he gonna say the Mannings did it. So how come I can't? Phillip did it, and so did Eli Manning. So
yeah. Was it Phillip or was it Eli?
Both of them. Well, no, it was Eli. It wasn't Phillip.
I was about to say Eli said it, and I think that was just because
somebody said Phillip though.
I think that was just I probably said Phillip at the very beginning, which I probably meant Eli. But I think they said that because I don't think he wanted to play against his brother up in the AFC. So,
is that why he said it? I didn't know. I couldn't remember why he said it. I thought because he thought the Chargers were trash. That's what I thought, but I could be wrong. But yeah, Peyton was with Indiana was the AFC, so he didn't want to play for the Chargers. I mean, I can see that, but yeah. But I mean, like you say, you know, Dion definitely thinks if the Mannings can do it, so can I. That part I do believe.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. But other thing is, do you think Brandon Ayuk is getting traded, dog?
No. I mean, no. They need to pay dude. No, they don't. Who else they have a wide receiver? Nobody. Debo, he's a weapon. He's not really a wide receiver. He's their best wide receiver. Why would you trade him? I mean, unless you're trying to get like the 4th overall pick to trade him for the Cardinals or something. Like, what are you doing? But I mean, even to what Nigel said, they paid Joey in July. They paid somebody else in July. I can't see them. Debo, I can't see them because they're gonna let Debo walk. Do they finna be there after next year? He's not that good. Debo is not that good.
No, he's just a gadget player.
He's a gadget player, and he used him perfectly. And somebody's gonna overpay for Debo next year, like they always do.
So do you think he's gonna get that Calvin Ridley
and not be good? Yeah, he'll get something like that. Watch, and he gonna probably ball out a little bit this year too, just to help boost that. But he's gonna go to the new team and probably want to be a wide receiver too. He won't be probably won't be a top 24 wide receiver. Well, he might be 20. Well, he's been a wide receiver one before.
Yeah, but I don't think he was really like a wide receiver one, you know.
No. I mean, no. Let me clarify. He finished fantasy as a wide receiver one.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes, yeah, and he goes to a new team. He'll be happy if he becomes a wide receiver receiver two.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me clarify. Yeah. No, he won't. He's not a one on the team. Yeah, but yes, they're going to pay Brandon Ayuk. They don't have a choice. Unless you're from the draft, unless you're trying to move up in this draft, the draft somebody to replace him. And I don't know if you want to do that. I don't know if I would do that. Wide receiver is not what they need to try to go get. Just pay the one you got. That ain't your issue.
Go get him, man. Where they drafting it, man, they can get a tag on wide receiver.
Now they might get one like the second round, get like a maybe a Leggett in the 3rd round, somebody second, 3rd round,
not Leggett going up in the 2nd, dog.
Think so?
Or get him out.
Malachi Corley to replace for Debo. Again, it's replacing Debo. It's not replacing Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, they can go for Mr. Have that double set of McCaffrey brothers up on the same team.
I mean, yeah, if you want to do that, but yes, long story short, they will pay Brandon Ayuk. They don't have a choice.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think he's gonna be gone, man. I hope he is.
Why? They go where? I mean, there's some teams who would love him.
Yeah, they just like what we talked. Like Pittsburgh is in combos. They need a wide receiver.
Pittsburgh and somebody else, right? Who's the other team?
Pittsburgh.
Somebody else.
Was it the Cowboys? No, it wasn't the Cowboys.
I can't. I mean, I guess I can write it thinking I can.
Yeah, I can't remember who it is, but yeah. Can't remember, but everybody, if you listen to this far, go and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Go and give us that thumbs up. And go on, tell a friend just to tell a friend. And
Please
to pass
do.
it to a friend. And don't forget to give us those 5-star ratings up on Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Hit that like button, subscribe it. You find out who the other one was?
No, you just keep seeing.
Okay, well, we'll come back to
I see the Steelers, but yeah, you know that.
So, since we are going to transition into this next segment, you know the draft is coming up. Last week, if you listened to the podcast last week or looked at the YouTube, posted right here or over there somewhere. I'm gonna post the actual last video so you can actually just end up seeing it right there. So just going to click on that previous one and see the other rookies that we talked about from the quarterback and running backs position last week.
Mm-hmm.
And this week we're going with those wide receivers and those tight ends. And just so y'all know, like, it's not going to be the ordinary where, we're going to give you Roma Duze, the Malik Neighbors, and then Marvin Harrison Jr. We already know those three guys are studs. But what we're trying to do is give you the guys that are like deep down in there, or guys that are like on the cusp of being like first round guys that you might want to look at and think about before you want to end up selecting them.
Mm-hmm.
So go and sit back, relax, and then enjoy the 6 wide receivers that we're going to drop dimes on for you.
Ooh, she rice band suit for $10 million. Yikes. Go ahead. Oh, Devontae Smith got paid 3 years, $75 million, $51 million guaranteed. Shout out to my Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. That was a good one. We needed that to lock him up. But I don't think we overpaid, so I think we did real good.
And you see how the co-host just jumped from the other one. So you know what we're gonna end up doing? We're gonna cut this out and move it to the other side and then move it around.
We're gonna move it around. Sorry about that. That's on me. I don't know who the other team was, but yeah.
It don't matter. They're not there yet. But let's go in and give it to the guy right now. The first guy up who we think you should end up looking out for is, I'm going to start this thing off real quick because last one I ain't start off, man. We're going to talk about your boy with that twang. I'm talking about the Southern drawl twang, Xavier Leggett.
Tell me about X.
Let's tell you about it. This is baby X. This ain't the real X now. This is baby X. This is baby X only because we already know how Dez Bryant came out, and right now we don't know what Xavier Leggett is going to do because he shined in his last year of 5th year, which makes you want to step back and wonder, what did he do different? Like, what was he doing? Like, just so if you do not know his stats, he has 71 catches for 1,255 yards, which averaged 17.5 yards per reception, scoring 7 touchdowns. And anytime that Spencer Rattler targeted him, the QB's rating was 127.1, which is pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. And then let's not even forget, like, we saw the boy run. And when we said the boy is fast, that boy is fast. Up in that twang, he is fast, everybody. He is fast. He makes people look fast that are not fast. The boy can burn. The boy can burn. But also what we're thinking and what you want to consider is that, okay, where might he be selected? Some of the teams that might end up selecting him, we have seen from the 3rd round all the way up to like the early 2nd round. So it depends on what teams actually need wide receivers. Currently right now, here are some guys that might need a wide receiver. If the Giants do not get a wide receiver up in the 1st round, They could settle
Ooh.
back and actually pick him up in the second round just to get him. The Cincinnati Bengals could also pick him up as well. And then on top of that, the team that actually needs a wide receiver more than anybody else, the Carolina Panthers, could end up picking him up as well, which would be good for them because they need a deep threat. And the boy's just right up the street. The only thing that's going to knock him is that he is a one-trick pony. 1 year.
Oh, okay, 1
Well,
year. Okay.
according to I'm just going off the stats. Now, do you think? Go ahead.
I hate that. Sorry. Did you freeze?
Okay.
Did you hear that?
No.
Did you hear that?
I just.
Oh, you did.
No.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. No, when you said one-trick pony, I thought you meant like he only has like one, like he's only a vertical threat, or he's only this threat. But you were saying like 1 year.
Just like a 1 year. Like the dude is he's fast, like he can transition. You can see him as like a unique size, height combination, similar to like DK Metcalf type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
But the way he can transition to the NFL requires improvement in like his footwork, his explosiveness, since he only did it 1 year. Can he build off that 1 year and actually pick up the actual NFL game completely? Only time will tell, but he is a great asset to end up having on your team.
What round in a one quarterback? What round would you get him? Oh, or
he will end up being, and this is doesn't like me. My co-host is always going to try to eat me on this, but and pause on that. Personally,
no did it.
I do not care where a person goes to a team as long as I like the talent. Personally, I will take him in the back half of the first round.
Whoa.
That's just me.
Really?
Yeah, if I had pick 11 or 12, I'll take him there.
Okay, so what's your ranking on him? What tier? What number rank?
Like he's tier 3.
Tier 3. Give me somebody else that's in tier 3 or 2 people.
2 or 3 people that are in tier 3, like a Keon Coleman and like a Lad.
You got Lad in 3?
Yeah, but only because like when you look at, so like my tiers are different. Like, so you have like the top 3, they're all 1 through. You have the 3 studs, and then I have Brian Thomas like in a tier by itself, like second coming in there. So then if you put tier 3, you got a Donovan A.D. Mitchell, who was. Do you really think he's going to be that guy? You don't know. You got a Xavier Worthy that are also in that tier. So like those 5 are all in the same tier to me.
5. Oh, did I miss 2? 5? You said Brian Thomas in his vibes?
The 3. Xavier, Leggett. Then I said, you'll make me even rethink this. I said Lad.
In that tier 3.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm sorry. Brian Thomas is in a tier 2 by himself, and then you got Lad, Leggett, Worthy, and A.D. Mitchell. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm tracking.
So that's who's in the areas with that personally, and they can just be interchangeable because it is based off fit and like how you feel upon certain players.
Okay. Interesting. Interessante. Keep going. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, but pretty much what else he got? Some of the pros and cons that he has, like a pro is the dude is quick off the line. Like the dude can adapt to beating NFL press coverage because he's strong. He's built like I think it's like 6'3", 6'4", something like that.
They got him listed as 6'1".
Okay, well,
he probably plays bigger than that. But he's 6'1", 221. He's a big boy.
Yeah,
he's a big boy now.
Yeah, some of the things like people have said, like his ideal height and then robust build resembles an actual linebacker type of deal because of how thick he is. Whenever, nope, pause.
No did he?
No did he? But he's very athletic and everything. So I think he's going to do numbers. The only thing he needs to work on is recognizing and sitting in the up and zone coverages, which is going to take time. Like whenever, as long as he actually understands the game and be able to put more time into actually watching film, he should be able to pick that up quickly. And then some of the other things is he's limited it into his effectiveness on the outside, excels in the middle, and then as a returner. So those are some things about Xavier Leggett who you should be looking out for. Do you have any thoughts on Xavier Leggett?
We're just gonna run real quick over his combine numbers, like you said. 4.39 40-yard, 1.54 10-yard split, 40-inch vertical, 10.6 broad jump. He might have had the highest 3.15 per route run. He only had 2 drops his last year. So I mean, yeah, his ceiling is there. Like you said, I think the biggest thing for him was he was just a one hit. He was a one hit wonder. And you wonder, and he's a 5th-year senior, so he's kind of older, and so you wonder if was this a blip or is it a trend? Now I did hear about his day one at the Senior Bowl was not a good day, but he bounced back his second day and had a real good day. So, it seems like that he will learn from his mistakes. He's still raw, like you said, he's raw and hella athletic. So, again, for me, not to him, but for me, it boils down, where do you go, right? Where are you going? Who's your OC? Who's going to work with you? Can you learn from him? Can you grow and develop? Because, you can be as talented as you want, but if you ain't got nobody to teach you and guide you, talent only goes so far.
Yeah, that is very true. So who you got up next? Who you got up?
Since he had already brought him up, he kind of poo-pooed on my guy. We're going to start with A.D. Mitchell. We're going to start with A.D. Mitchell.
Tell me something about him.
If I can convince you a little bit about A.D. Mitchell. All right. So he's 6'2", he's 205. He turned 22 in October. His RAS score was a 9.98 RAS. I thought it was like 9.97. Maybe know what. So 9.98 RAS, 1.52 in the split, 39.5 inch vert. His broad was 11.4. That's a big broad jump.
Explosive.
And he ran a 4.34. Yes, very explosive. I didn't realize until I started doing a deep dive. He started his year in Georgia, but I do remember a lot. Like he had moved to Texas because of family reasons, so that was him. I didn't realize that was him. So A.D. Mitchell, you cannot look at A.D. Mitchell's stats and be like, okay, he could be that dude. His stats didn't show that. Probably that's because of how trash Quinn Ewers is. Yeah, he's pretty garbage.
Yeah, he's gonna lose his job.
Is he? Because
I think so.
I'm about to say, is Arch Manning that dude or not? Because Arch could be taking his spot if he's this garbage. As I'm hearing it, as I'm seeing. Now he's a senior, right? So is what's his face gonna be like? He kind of earned it. He's been here longer. No matter
I think it's gonna be similar to the you remember whenever Spencer Rattler was the QB at Oklahoma, and then Caleb Williams came in, so that they knew they had this hot freshman up on the bench. That if Spencer was to mess up at all, then even though the guy has I think that's the way it's going to go. Quinn Ewers is going to be the guy for like the first couple games, but if the coach does not see what he wants to see, then don't be shocking that Manning steps into the field.
Okay, I'm like, it's Arch that guy, not because this guy right here is garbage. And for him to be like the number one overall rated quarterback who came out of high school, I don't see it. So yeah, okay. Adonai Mitchell. So he has good hands. He's a hands catcher. He is good at contested catch. He has when I say great, he has great body control. shoot, it didn't pull him up. There he is. He has great body control. He's a pretty good route runner. He can be better. Give him time. But in the red zone, he's a great route runner. He had 18 touchdowns on 93 catches in his career, which is pretty good. That's at a 19.5% rate. And he's already doing the two-toe tap before he goes out of bounds. I think him and Marvin Harrison Jr. are already doing it. Tap a 2 feet in, right? So he is a high ceiling guy. The issue with him is that he's inconsistent. He needs to be consistent. He can be dominant at times. Sometimes, I hate that. Sometimes you look at him, you're like, oh, this dude is a flat out stud. And then sometimes you look at him like, what is he doing? Like, did he realize that the play was coming to him or the ball was coming to him? So also what I found out is that for some reason, I guess Texas, they only focus on like one side of the field at a time. So maybe I'm guessing, and same thing with Worthy too. I'm guessing that him or Worthy thought, okay, we're not getting the ball, so I'm going to half-ass on this route. I'm not going to sell this route. I'm just half-ass and not really pay attention because the ball, I'm not getting the ball anyway. But you said what?
Says a lot about the QB position.
A lot about the QB. Back to Quinn Ewers being garbage. But obviously we would like for him to sell his routes more, right? The play's not coming to him. But so maybe that's why. But yeah, he's inconsistent. Boom, boom, boom. He had a couple roller coaster games. He only had 3 games in his career over 80 yards. It goes back to Georgia. When he played against Kool-Aid, right, who's supposed to be a first-round cornerback, he went three catches, 78 yards, but he had 2 touchdowns. So, like I said, he's great. He's a pretty good route runner, but in the red zone, for some reason, I don't know. I guess because he knows I need to get touchdowns, and he's a phenomenal route runner when it comes to route running in the red zone. I have a comp to him as George Pickens, Nico Collins type. I also comp, and this probably makes sense to you when I say this person's name as far as the comp, because he's inconsistent. He was inconsistent, right? And you can see his potential and his talent, but he didn't already meet his talent, always meet his ceiling. Josh Gordon, right? Remember Josh Gordon for the Cleveland Browns?
Yep.
Right? So, like, you saw the talent. The talent is there. But for whatever reason, up here, lost focus, whatever, he didn't achieve what he could have been. We all know Josh had that one great year. You saw it was there. So I think A.D. Mitchell, if he goes to the right, I'm telling you right now, if he goes to Buffalo, if he goes to Kansas City, look out. He will shoot up draft boards. He might.
He'll jump. He'll be number 4.
I was just about to say that. I'm predicting that Brent Thomas Jr. is going to the Jaguars, right? That's my projection. Yeah. If A.D. Mitchell goes to the Buffalo or Kansas City, he will jump him at number 4. Took the words right
But that's sort of like that's sort of like how you are already off gate, like what you mentioned before. Like you want to see the actual landing spots. So I think some people actually want to see that too as well, which is going to help their stock anyways when it comes up. That's the only thing that's going to really knock him is that I really don't want to know why you didn't give your all, like sort of like how you said, like he didn't always run, even though I'm not getting the ball. Like, yeah, the QB's only seeing one side of the field. Like, you still got to do your job. Like, that's one thing in the NFL that they're going to continue to preach and keep preaching to you is that you have to run your route. Even if you're not getting the ball, you got to run your route, because what you're doing is you might set somebody else up open, and then they'll do the exact same thing for you just so you can get the ball. So sort of like that little crossing route, like that they do, like the 5 and 10 over, but then you got to do your job. You got to flash in front of that safety's face so that post can come right behind you up over top just for like a touchdown. Like, you got to do your job, and that's what I'm wondering if he's going to do that.
I think he gets to Kansas City. I think they'll work with him. I like him. I like him with Buffalo. I just think that I don't like the coaching in Buffalo, so that might hamper him. But he'll get the targets. Like, a lot of Quinn Ewers aren't throwing the ball. We know Josh can throw that peel.
Okay. So where are you taking him up in single QB drafts for the people
Now,
out there?
is he going to the Buffalo Bills up to the Kansas City Chiefs or not? That matters. That matters because so okay. Let's say for example he goes to I don't know. Let's say he goes to Raiders. No, I mean the I want to tell the Jaguars. Give me a team. Let's say he goes to the Colts, right? They already got Michael Pittman there, but they're kind of two different type players. I'm like, I will take him. I'll probably take him. And instead Xavier Worthy goes to the Chiefs or to the Buffalo Bills. Well, I'll take Worthy over AD Mitchell. I will not let AD Mitchell get out the first round. Okay, let me say this. If he goes to a non-prime spot, pick him late first or the early second round. If he goes to a prime spot, Buffalo or Kansas City, like you said, he's my fourth receiver off the board.
Okay. I got some teams. You tell me yes or no. All right. What if he goes to the 49ers?
I don't think I take him. Yes, because I think because Kyle will scheme him open and let him do work. Yes.
Okay.
I love him there, but yes.
Baltimore doesn't need anybody. What about Detroit?
No. I'm taking him late first, 32nd because it's Almond Raw, Laporta. Do I think he's better than your boy? What's his boy from Alabama? What's his name? Jameson.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has a higher ceiling than Jameson. Yes, but I don't like him there. He might not get. He's like I ain't getting the ball. No.
Cool.
Late first. Go ahead.
What about now I'm going to the second round now. So because I saw some and I'm thinking about these teams not selecting anybody in the first round, so that's why I'm bringing them up. What about to the Patriots?
Who throwing in the ball?
So it's either going to be a rookie, it's either going to be Jacoby Brissett, or it's going to be one of the rookies. It could be either Drake May, it could be JJ McCarthy, it could be Jaden Daniels.
I don't like anyone on the Patriots. Please don't pick them. Keep me out of the team. I just don't know what to expect from them, and all I think about is the last 24 years.
Well, I'm also thinking about when it comes to the Patriots, like you're thinking about a new reign that's coming in. Gerard Mayo's gonna bring his own twist to the franchise.
Who's the OC?
Hold on.
Somebody told me the other day. I can't even think who the OC. I don't love anybody on the Patriots. Skill position. I need to see it. I can't project it. You know, I hear them taking every time I'm taking a wide receiver. We're gonna have Jacoby Brissett throwing the ball. Like, you know, Jacoby Brissett is a journeyman. He is a backup. That's what he is. Like, what are you doing? I don't know. It's too much unknown for me to be like, okay, he goes to the Patriots. So he goes to the Patriots. Ask you a question. I'm sorry. Early second.
Mm-hmm. So what about so for the OC who you was talking about, it is Alex Van Pelk.
Where did he come from? That name sounds familiar. He went somewhere. He was somewhere.
He has been Van Pelk brings an extensive offensive background with him after 2 decades as a coach, including a stint as an offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills and for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, Cleveland was most recent. Okay, Cleveland. Let me guess the fancy there. Second round. Late first, second round. Another team.
Okay. Okay, now I'm just bringing it out there, just trying to see what you thought. Like where.
I mean, if he goes to Pittsburgh, we know if he goes to Pittsburgh, I might take it. I won't take him before Brian Thomas, but I'll take him 5. Because I know that Pittsburgh, they do their due diligence on receivers, and they know what they're doing when it comes to receivers. So even though I might not like it being Russell or, you know what I'm saying, the OC there, I know that they know how to pick receivers. So I won't move him in front of Brian. Only I move him in front of Brian Thomas if he goes to Buffalo or Kansas City.
Okay. I can see that.
Who's your next guy?
My next guy is, I have to go to one of my favorite college football teams, the only favorite college football team that only matters. It is those Florida State Seminoles.
Keon?
And I am going with Mr. Don't judge his 40, but judge his gauntlet drill. Mr. Keon Coleman.
Right.
Yes, Mr. Keon Coleman. This is one of my favorite wide receivers. That's why he's in my tier 3 with the other 5. Personally, just like what I just mentioned a little bit before, he did not have the best 40-yard dash, but he had one of the top speeds up in the gauntlet drills, which also shows you that he is very explosive when he gets the ball in his hand. That was shown during his year, this past season at Florida State, where he was the punt returner and the kickoff returner. So that's one thing that be mindful of him actually doing when he goes to the league as well. Some of the good fits that he can end up being playing for is probably the New Orleans Saints. I can see maybe the Packers going for him, and then possibly the actual Arizona Cardinals if they do not get a top tier wide receiver at the beginning of the draft, which it depends on how they're feeling. But he could go to other teams that are in the second round that actually need wide receivers. Those could be where are they at? It could be like what I mentioned before, the New England Patriots. Could be Carolina. They need a wide receiver. Could be possibility the Commanders. They do have 2 second-round picks. That's where I see him going, is in second round, maybe third round, depending on his speed of what people are saying about him. But overall, I see him as a nice complementary possession receiver who has a little tweak in speed when he gets the ball up in his hands.
Okay.
So that's how I feel about him. Like he has that elite size, compact build, prime athleticism for an actual NFL wide receiver, elite time and ball control, and then catch and point strength. Like that's some things that he's going to need when he gets into the league itself. So those are some aspects that I'm looking at that he needs. Some of the things that he might need to work on is hold on, let me see.
To while you look at that, to also you was like look at his you said his gauntlet drill, which was fast. Also, I think he reached like 20 plus miles an hour this season on a route or multiple routes. So for some reason, he's straight lines. So I guess he's game speed fast, right?
Yep.
So he's in game, in game fast. I mean, if you look at he ran a 4.46, but his 10-yard sprint was 1.54. He had 30-inch vertical, and his broad was 10.7. So that's nothing to sneeze at.
No. And then some of the things that he needs to work on, it's just what all wide receivers are going to have to learn and love to do. It is the inconsistent and in his run blocking. That's the one thing. We ain't talking about the routes yet, because in order to stay on that field, you got to be able to block. And then that's what we could end up mentioning, his limited route sharpness effect separation due to his lack of burst, which we saw that in his 40. But we know that once he gets the ball in his hands, he is able to take it away. And Mr. Keon Coleman in 1 QB leagues out there, I am most likely going to draft him in the early second round, mid.
Okay.
So that's the range that I'm gonna try to get him. Like if you got like 2.5. Like that's if he falls that far.
Okay. That's what I was gonna say.
Because I'm thinking about 1 QB leagues, you might have at 2.01, 2.02, you might have running backs to go, then maybe some wide receivers. Somebody might want a quarterback then. If Caleb is there. So you never know. Then on top of that, you might got a tight end that slips in there, like a Jatavian Sanders. Something like that. So that's the reason why I said that.
I got you. I got you. I mean, he's 6'3", 215, 213. Yeah.
And
His hands.
he'll put on another 15. Probably wants to go to, but it'll be shredded though.
230.
Yeah, like like his weight's gonna change. All rookies' weights are gonna change to the NFL body weight.
Yeah.
It'll just take him time.
I agree. Okay. My next guy is
Let's tell us about him.
What's his name? His name is Roman. Let's go with Roman Wilson.
Okay.
National champion Roman Wilson. Let me pull up his combine numbers, if you will.
I got you.
Okay, so Roman Wilson, he's 5'10", 185 pounds. He turned 23 in June, a little bit older. Only thing I have is his split was 1.52. He might have done anything else but that. He did run his 40 time was 4.39, which is real good. I have a comp to him. I think his ceiling can be Chris Olave, Tyler Lockett, Randall Cobb comes to mind in my head when I think about him. Now this is Randall Cobb, Green Bay Randall Cobb. When he was putting in like 90-some catches, 900-some yards, and like 8 to 10 touchdowns. Randall Cobb. But he could be a threat at all three levels. He's smooth. He's a good route runner. He thrives at the vertical threat. He was a standout at the Senior Bowl. He's never had a season over 800. However, he's never had a season over 800 yards, but he did play at Michigan, right? And Michigan, what they do, they ran the ball 65, 60% of the time. He did have 12 touchdowns last year. So his dominator rating was 37% this last year, which is pretty damn good at Michigan, which that means like of the pass prediction, 30% of the passes went to him. Some things he needs to work on. He needs to learn how to vary his speed, and he's not that dynamic after the catch. He does have short arms. He's only 5'10", but he can struggle against press cornerbacks. But I can see him as a slot receiver or maybe a Z receiver. Also, he only had one drop in 2023, so that's pretty impressive. So yeah, I like Roman Wilson. I would take him. I'm taking him probably after. Yeah, I'm taking him definitely after Keon Coleman. I'm taking him maybe early third. Like I say, kind of depends on where he goes. Early thrower, he could be. He was a vertical threat in college. So 5'10" speeds to 4.39 on the sneeze at. But I'm taking him late second, early third round in a 1 QB draft.
Okay, I can see that. I can see late second, early third.
Yeah. So like he doesn't win that much of contested catches, but like I said, somebody can scheme him open, take off, man. 12 touchdowns on the sneeze that in the Big Ten. That's pretty good.
No, this shows that he got open up in the red zone.
Got open in the red zone. That's tough to do. He's a good route runner, so he can win at all three levels. And if you're a route runner, you can last long in the league. So he could be what's his face? Because I feel like what's his face? Puka. Not Puka. What's the guy for Detroit? What's his name?
Oh, Amon-Ra.
Amon-Ra. How big is he? He can't be much bigger than Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra can't be much bigger than him.
Let me see. He's around the same size.
Is Amon-Ra 6 feet?
I think so.
So he's got to be he got to be an Amon-Ra type. If he's that smooth, that much of a good route runner, yeah.
He's 5'11", but Amon-Ra was also taken up in the 4th round, dog.
No, right. But what I'm saying is his production at the pro level.
Okay.
The fact that he's a good route runner and they're about to run about their same side, and we know he can catch the ball. So, but again, he's got to be in a good system. Is Amon-Ra that same Amon-Ra in a different system? You know what I'm saying?
I think he would be.
You think he would be?
Yeah. I think if you put him up in Denver, that boy would eat. Even though
because he
you
can
don't know
run
who's actually throwing the ball, but he'll run that route tree for
because he can run a route tree for Sean Payton.
Yep. Yep.
Let's go. Who's your last wide receiver?
I just had him up, but he done ran away. But I'm gonna run him back. We talked about him already off gate.
Did we?
Oh, here he is. My boy out of UTEP. We're going to UTEP, y'all. We are talking about Mr. Jacob Crowley or Crowley. Yep. Let's see. Jacob.
Go ahead. Let me pull this guy up.
Crowley's a versatile wide receiver with he went to UTEP and Arizona pedigree. Primarily excelled in the slot, so he's a good slot receiver for you guys out there. They're looking for like a slot receiver. Some things you want to think about whenever you're actually drafting certain players, guys that are going to catch the ball. Guys like this, he's going to be that wide receiver 3. And that's where I can see him fitting in like certain offense. He can run like what everybody always tries to compare. Like he could be like an actual Amon-Ra per se, but like a tick down only because of where he is. So he transferred to Arizona for his senior season, showcasing a consistent excellence accumulation of his 82 catches for 716 yards on 11 touchdowns. And yes, a lot of people are probably going to say, oh, well, that's just the Pac-12, things like that. All right, let's go and take it back again. So he had an outstanding junior season, recording 69 catches for 1,361 yards and 7 touchdowns. So do not knock upon your guy out of UTEP who transferred to the University of Arizona Wildcats. Some of the other teams that I got to see him going towards and like being a great fit for is maybe I could see like the Patriots passing up on a wide receiver the first 2 rounds and potentially picking him up maybe the 3rd or 4th round. Another part where the Cincinnati Bengals are losing or already did lose Tyler Boyd, so he could probably fit the. Crowley could go in battle with Charlie Jones from last year, and then there are other rookies that they drafted as well. So he's a strong track. He's strong at tracking the ball skills, and then for like a deep threat and like deep receptions and everything. So that's some of the skill set that he has. He's smooth and balanced play whenever he's going up against defensive backs. He contributes to blocking down the field, the one thing that NFL guys like. And then the one thing that we all like is fantasy. The dude is slippery and then explosive runner after the ball. That's the one thing excels in like screenplay, true breakaway speed. So that's one guy you might want to keep up on your radar, Mr. Jacob Crowley.
Okay, just to run off a little bit of his stats. He's 5'8", 168 pounds. He's a small guy. He did run a 4.38 and a 40-yard dash, 10-yard split with 1.54. He had a 36-inch vertical. His broad jump was 9.11. His 3-cone was 7.02, and the 20-yard shuttle was 4.32. So where are you drafting him? Is he this is 3? So we said 3-round draft in the rookie draft. Does he get drafted, or is he a free agent guy?
Nah, he's gonna be a free agent guy that you're gonna pick up.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna be a free agent guy that you're gonna pick up. Unless you have a league that you got that taxi squad where you're gonna stash them and then just let them be there. So he might be your taxi squad player. That's one guy I would consider. Like if you have like a big taxi squad, there are some leagues out there that have 5 taxi squad players. So you'll just get them, put them up on your taxi squad. If somebody wants to pick them from your roster, you have the ability to pay them the price that the player is offering them. Sort of like what in the real league. It's like a practice squad.
Okay, I was about to say, okay, it's taxi squad, standard is a practice squad.
Taxi squad, practice squad. They're the same thing.
That's what I'm about to get to. Okay. Bless you. That's what I asked.
I was clear on my throat.
Oh, I thought you sneezed. Okay, Jacob Cowing, from Arizona, 5'8". Okay. My last guy, is Malachi Corley. I think he could be a sleeper. He's 5'11". He's 215. So he's a big boy. I have him. Obviously, when you think about 5'11", 215, you think of, and he's the physical guy. You think of what's his face from San Francisco, Debo. Think of Debo's thing, right? He's physical. Reminds you of Debo. He's better with manufactured catches. He has great contact balance. He is a yak guy. When he gets the ball, he's like a running back with the ball in his hands. He's twitchy.
Okay.
He's twitchy. He had a good Senior Bowl. He's got quick feet. And so when I first looked at him, he had below average in route running, right? And below average. And he's also below average as a contested guy. But the route running seemed to look a little bit better at the Senior Bowl. So he's a slot. I see him more as a slot receiver. But he's 22. He ran a 4.56 on his pro day. That's all he did at his pro day. I don't have any other stats outside of that, which is back. I did not look at his pro day, so I don't know what he did his pro day. I'll say in 20, he played for Conference USA. Who did he play for? He played for Western Kentucky. Conference USA, his final year, he led the team with 79 receptions, 894 yards, and 11 touchdowns in 12 games. So that's almost a touchdown a game. But, yeah, Malachi Corley, I think he is a late third, again, depending on where you go, late third to a free agent / taxi squad, practice squad player. But, yeah. What you got? Now, I do – that's up. I'm going to go ahead. I'll let you finish. Do you have anything about Malachi Corley?
Oh, yeah. He going up in the second round, dog.
Oh, here I am. I undersold him. Really?
Yeah, the dude going in the second round.
You hot now? Second round in real life or in a fantasy or both?
I can see both. I can see him going in the back half of the second round. If somebody really would pick him up, some of the good fits that I'm seeing is I can see a guy that really could use his skills in a cold stadium who just lost the daggone recent wide receiver. We're talking about Mr. Josh Allen in Buffalo. And then also on top of that, I could see him going to the Kansas City Chiefs, dog.
Really? So now, is Buffalo taking a wide receiver in the first round and taking him in the second, or just taking him in the second?
Nah, I just taking him in the second.
Okay, so really interesting. Here I am. I thought I was, I was trying to. I had him get to later. Apparently, I'm not the only one on Malachi Corley. Apparently.
No, man. Shoot, man. You get early second round, dog. If you want the guy, you gotta go get him.
So he's in your tier 4 then.
Yep. He's leading off tier 4.
Is Troy Franklin in your tier 4?
No. I don't like Troy Franklin at all.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, he lost some lust.
He's like tier 5, tier 6.
So to put a button on the wide receivers, I do have another wide receiver who I think is a sleeper.
I guess you ain't see that Superflex draft, dog, up on IG. So just pun intended, go and check out that Superflex mock draft 2.0 that dropped for Service Fantasy Sports. Had your boy Malachi Corley in the second round, and that's in Superflex, dog.
Now, did you draft or somebody else drafted?
No, that's where I mocked him to in the second round.
I do have another prospect. I will not reveal his name because obviously I play my co-host in 2 different leagues.
So doggone put him out there.
So just in case, he tried to snatch him up, he's good at that. He'll write somebody, oh, really? But if you want to know who he is, DM me. My Twitter and IG handle is YoungCut, YOUNGKUT. If you want to know who this guy is, DM me and I will tell you this guy. I will not tell it on the plot. because my co-host he be ear hustling too much. So I think he could be a sleeper. We'll see where he goes. I will reveal him after I draft him, hopefully, maybe in August sometime, or I'll get him in the third round as a stash player. I don't have a third round pick.
So I'll tell you this right now, dog. If you talking about Malik Washington out of Virginia, yeah, dog. You might want to think twice about him. He'll probably be going up in the third round.
In the third round, you got any third round picks?
I got about 3 of them, dog.
In both leagues or which league? I think I got.
It don't make a difference what league. I can scoop them up.
Yeah. Okay. I cannot confirm nor can I deny that it is Malik Washington. Can confirm nor can I deny. So, yeah.
So everybody out there just thinking that's the guy. So go and let me know down up in the comments if that was the guy. Go on, blast it out. But shoot, you could got another wide receiver out there, man.
It's so many of them, right? This is the deep wide. It's probably the deepest ever been wide receiver draft. I didn't even talk. I want to talk about one of the Washington guys, Polk or Jalen McMillan, but so we could keep going. But he said his 3. Your 3 were go again.
My 3 were Xavier Leggett, Mr. Baby DK. Then you have Mr. Nothing but speed in the gauntlet drill, Mr. Keon Coleman. And then Mr. Jacob Crowing out of Arizona. Nice little shifty. You had
Rome.
Yeah.
Did not have Rome. I mean, please take Rome. If you get Rome, take Rome.
I said you didn't let me finish. So I was going Roman.
Oh, okay.
Roman Wilson out of Michigan, and then you brought up a guy who you thought was going to be a sleeper up in the third round.
So
Mr. Malachi Corley.
And last we have A.D. Mitchell.
And A.D. Mitchell, y'all. So a lot has been said with the wide receivers, and now you already know the position that everybody wants to know who's going to be that next top 5. Those tight ends, dog. Those tight ends. I'm gonna let you go first. Because we can run these off pretty quickly.
We're gonna run these off quick. We have 58 minutes in ticking. We were supposed to have 3 apiece. I only came up with 2. Obviously, we know that Brock Bowers is number 1. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, my only knock on Brock Bowers is his health. Other than that, he can be better at run blocking, but so could all tight ends. He's a little undersized, but yeah, we know who Brock Bowers is. He was that guy since he was a freshman. Tight end. My first tight end is Eric All, and I looked, so they don't even have Eric All. They go to and I go to drafts. I go best available. Eric All is not even up here, so this should be a sleeper for everyone. He's the true sleeper. Only if I should have kept this one close to the vest too. And I don't know if my co-host knew about him already, but I'm gonna let this one out the bag. Eric All, he's 6'4", 52. He did not test at the combine. The reason he did not test at the combine because he tore his ACL in I think October. He does have a bit of an injury history. He transferred. He was originally in Michigan, and then he transferred to Iowa. Right? He went to. Is it Iowa?
Went to Iowa.
Right? Yeah, Iowa, which is tight end university, tight end U, them in Notre Dame. But the reason he transferred from, it's kind of weird. The reason he transferred from Michigan because he had a back injury, and I don't know what he got into with the trainer or the person who operated on his back. It was something where he didn't agree with Michigan, so he transferred to Iowa. In Michigan, 2021, he got mention honors. He redshirted in 2022 due to a spine injury, to spine surgery in October. Boom, boom, boom. He's a sleeper. He led the team. He led Iowa in receiving yards in just 7 games. He tore his ACL, but the last 7 games, so he led the team. This is crazy. So the team was trash. Right? Iowa was garbage. They only averaged 112 yards passing the game. and he averaged 14.2 yards per reception. He's athletic. He has the body type and the receiving skill for a tight end. We don't know his 40 time, but his estimated 40 time would have been like a 4.6, 4.5. He accelerates quickly in and out of his breaks, and he returns to top speed very quickly. He does have some concentration drop, but so does everybody, right? And he may struggle a little bit against tougher defenders. So I think his comp is Noah Fant. That's probably not saying a lot because I think Noah Fant is more athletic than the stats show. So that's what I think. And I also think without his injury, he would be a tight end too. He would be over Ja'Tavion Sanders. That's what I think. 6'4", 252. Yes, I think he would be over Ja'Tavion Sanders as the tight end. Because I guess Xavier is probably not the consensus tight end two anymore because he put up a weak ass combine and didn't do any better at his pro day from what I heard. So especially with that, I think Eric All would probably be the tight end two. Tight end 2 or 3, because the next person I'm talking about is probably the tight end 2.
Okay. So some of the since my co-host didn't know if he's actually been on my list and everything, and yes, he actually is on my radar. So
he is on his radar. Okay, so I can take that. He's already been to me giving you a name. Cool, Eric All. So we both go over Eric All deep in the draft. Pause.
So some of the things that I have for Eric Hall is he has reliable hands in traffic. He excels catching over the middle. Something that you want as a tight end. He's a proactive blocker, which is what's going to keep him on the field to be that 2-down type of tight end. He's engaging with multiple defenders and understanding his role. He knows when he goes out there, if he's going to block, that's what he's going to do. That's what you want to look for in a tight end. Some of the things that he needs to work on, I would say he needs to improve his creating separation, particularly in zone coverage. And those are just some little things that I'm going to name. I'm not going to go down like more stats about since the co-host, Mr. K Camp, already talked about him a little bit. So that's all I'm going to throw out there, a little splash. Bam. There you go. So since he went down that route, I'm going to save one of my guys to the very end, which if you listen to the podcast about 3-4 weeks ago, I'm going to bring up the same guy again, and you'll understand why. But I'm going to go with one of the top tight ends out there, Mr. Ja'Tavion Sanders.
I just shitted on him. Go ahead.
Huh?
I said I just shitted on him. Go ahead.
So, Mr. Ja'Tavion Sanders, I'm very high on because of how he is as his athletic ability. Some of the things that he is good with, he's super reliable wide receiver without outstanding high pointing ability. He can high point the balls correctly, exhibit excellence, deep speed, and then agility in route running. He has strong hand use against press coverage, adapts at getting down the line. Getting off the line. Then he hold on real quick. This is my daughter. Yep. So
Ja'Tavion Sanders?
Yes, we are talking about Ja'Tavion Sanders. The dude is superbly has the soft hands, rarely drops a pass. So he might be that Mr. Reliable that you need for like a nice rookie QB. I know you was giving some nice complimentaries to who he is.
Oh, yes. NFL comp is David Njoku. I think David Njoku is better than what his stats are. For whatever reason, Cleveland does not throw him the ball as much. We didn't really see him, I don't say break out, but we didn't see him get the ball again until Joe Flacco took over. So hopefully that should boost his attempts going forward. What's your face? Deshaun Watson. Throw to Joe David the ball. Just a little bit of his stats. So He ran a 4.6 down the 40-yard dash, 1.59, 10-yard split. His 20-yard shuttle was 4.32. So yeah, that was all he did at the combine. 6'4", 245 pounds. I think he might be the consensus number 2 tight end in the draft from everybody. Consensus, right? Let's say consensus. I think that 40-yard kind of hurt him a little bit. I think everybody thought that he probably run like 4.5, but he might be game speed fast. He's only a junior, so he might be game speed fast, but you can appreciate it. He's a tight end too. So,
Yep. And also, he's been consistent when it comes to his catching ability. In his sophomore season, he had 54 receptions for 613 yards. On top of that, in his junior season, he had 45 receptions for 682 yards. And remember, those are all coming from the number 1 QB in the nation, Quentin Ewers.
number 1 trash QB in the nation.
But yeah, his QB wasn't the best, but he still got the job done.
That's pretty good though. Okay. My last guy is Ben Sanu or Ben Sanat. Forgive me if I pronounce your name wrong. 6'4", 250. His 40 time was 4.68, which is a little bit faster than Xavier Sanders by a 10th of a point, or than a 100th of a point. That's a 100th of a point. His 3-cone was 6.82. His shuttle was 4.23. His broad was 10.6, pretty good. 40-inch vertical, and his split was 1.59. He had a RAS score of 9.73. That is a very high RAS score. If you don't RAS, it's your relatively athletic score, and it's out of 10, and he was a 9.73. Benson Knott is, in my opinion, the best all-around tight end in the draft when you think about blocking and receiving. One note to know about him: coming out of high school, he was a no-star recruit, and so he's the type of guy who works his ass off. Right, bring your lunch pail to work. I'm gonna show you what I can do. So that tells me that he already has a chip on his shoulder to even get to where he is now. He gets in and out of his routes real quick and knows how to get open at the top of his route. Half of his catches were between the hashes, right? Which in the NFL, that's where a tight end eats, right? In between those 2 hash marks, within a 20-yard line of scrimmage. So half of his catches in college were from that. He's a 2-way utility guy. He's very efficient, and he's also good at breaking tackles. I have him come to, be ready, to Sam Laporta and TJ Hawkinson. That's what I have him compared to. He's actually my number 2 tight end in this draft over Ja'Tavion Sanders. Ja'Tavion is 3. But I have Ben Sinnott is 2 in this draft.
Okay.
Thoughts on Ben?
Who's Ben? Ben Sinnott.
You said who's Ben, or you just like Matt?
No, I got some stuff on him. Like just similar to like what you were saying, like he it's not his excels in size, strength, and explosive athletic ability. Partially as a ball, he's good at ball tracking. So, pause. Not that, no diddy. So yeah, like us, like he's very good, skilled playmaker. Some of the things that he's good, displays football IQ for an effective separation. So yeah, it's all around good tight end out there. That's all I can say for him right now.
Like you say, huh? Okay.
So,
who's your last guy?
My last guy is a guy who I'm very high on. I mentioned him 4 weeks ago, is Mr. Dylan Holker out of Colorado State. Been high up on him ever since I saw him play against Colorado when it was Colorado versus Colorado State. Mm-hmm. I did not know who this tight end was. Out of nowhere, the Brigham Young transfer got out of Brigham Young and went to the Colorado State Rams. And in that game, the dude put on a show. So I had him on the radar, and then once he came into the combine, I seen what he did. Personally, I think he's going to be a great tight end. In his senior season, he has 64 receptions for 767 yards on 6 touchdowns. Some of the things that he is good at. Let's go down. Holker excels in moving the chains and shining in the red zone. Sneaky speed and a long stride. Some of the things is he's capable of securing touchdowns. He excels in making plays after the catch. Impressive yak numbers. Some of the things you want to think about as a tight end, that he doesn't just catch the ball and just get down. Holker displays excellent receiving skills. So some of the things that he does need to work on is to improve his athletic explosiveness compared to some of the NFL competition. But I think that's going to change once he gets onto the practice field with other players that are actually in the NFL. So I think he's going to be a good fit based off whatever team he goes to. And since the co-host named a comp, my comp to Mr. Dylan Holker, aka Colorado State owned Trey McBride. It's not Trey McBride, but it is Mr. George Kittle. That is who my comp is for Mr. Dylan Holker.
If he's comp to George Kittle, who is Buck Bowers comp to? Kels?
He's a Swiss Army knife. Only thing about it, he got to stay healthy though.
Got to stay healthy, man. Got to stay healthy. That is key. Just real quick on Holker's stats. He ran a 40 to 4.78, hit a 10-yard split of 1.66, vertical jump of 32.5, broad jump of 10.2, cone was 6.83, and a 4.21 20-yard show. I hadn't looked at him. He's 6'3", 241. I haven't scouted him. Probably won't get to scout him. So that could be you taking him as a taxi guy or free agent?
Depends.
Depends on where he goes, y'all.
If we're saying if I would probably take him and stash him on my bench in like a late third. If you are out there that actually do 4th rounds, you could probably get him in the 4th as well. Okay. But me personally, I'm taking him up in the late 3rd and just stashing him. But if you do have a taxi squad and he goes to, then I would be one of the guys I would look at just to see where he goes and what he ends up doing for that offense. But I think personally he'll be a good 3rd round pick.
Gotcha. All right. Those are our wide receivers and tight ends.
So a recap of the wide receivers. We have said, I said Xavier Leggett. I also came back with Keon Coleman and then Jacob Cowing. And then the co-host, Mr. K Camp, came back with who was the first guy?
Adonai Mitchell.
Yeah, AD Mitchell.
Malachi Corley.
Yep, Malachi Corley, and then Mr. Roman Wilson. And then for the tight ends, we had you had Eric All, and then you also had Mr. Ben Sinnott or Sinnott. I had Jatavian Sanders and also had Dylan Holker. So those are some tight ends and wide receivers you should be looking at. We would like to thank y'all for tuning in to the podcast. We greatly appreciate it. If you want to see some of these rookie profiles, we need to get this video up to let's just say 25 or like close to 50 views. If we can do that and get like 10 or 15 likes, we're going to start dropping some rookie profiles for you right before the draft gets out there, so you can see who we are projecting some players going to, things like that here at Cerberus Fantasy Sports. So Mr. K. Kemp, any last words?
We thank y'all for coming out. We know you could have been anywhere in the world, but you were here with us, and we appreciate that. Spread love, not hate. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Spread love, not hate.
Thanks for checking out another episode of Cerberus Gridiron Podcast, powered by Cerberus Fantasy Sports. Make sure you stay tuned for the next episode.